Westport in County Mayo, a picture-perfect town. It may only have a population of 5,000 people, but the town is rich in Irish charisma and culture. Westport is located at the southeast corner of Clew Bay, an inlet of the Atlantic Ocean. And along these shores you'll find the Westport Golf Club. This 18-hole championship layout has panoramas across the bay, with an eye-catching hill named Croke Patrick dominating the skyline. As the former club captain Gar Golden explains, the Westport Golf Club history is as distinctly Irish as the town itself.
The club was founded in 1908 in Westport town, and the first captain was Darley Livingston. He had connections with Livingstons in New Zealand and with the Guinnesses. He was married to one of the Guinnesses. It moved then in 1926 to Caraholly, beside 2 miles from where we are, and it moved here in 1973. And this course was designed by Fred Hawtrey, and here we are today.
The course itself is part inland and part seaside, meaning a round at Westport will keep you in close contact with the Atlantic Ocean, but hopefully not too close.
If one was to describe it perfectly, 3 sixes. The first 6 holes are very compact, very easy holes to sort of ease you into a nice sort of round of golf. Interesting, couple of great shots required to get through 2, 5, and then when you get to the 6th hole, you start to see a little bit of length come into the golf course and a little bit of more difficulty. Again, you're into sort of very sheltered areas in little valleys, in the little tree areas. Once you get past 8, which is a great golf hole, one of our toughest par 4s, you're into a big par 3, and then suddenly when you hit 10, get through 11, you start to see the mountain, famous mountain Croke Patrick, come into view. You start to see the sea, you start to get a feel for the toughness of what's coming at you. And the last 6 really are a really good test of golf.
Senior professional Alex Melia begins our tour of Westport towards the end of the front 9.
Hole number 8 is a big par 4, big monster. You can go all the way back. It's well over 450 yards from the back tee. You got to go down the left side of the fairway. It's a very graduating, sweeping dogleg left to right, but there's water to the front and to the right of the green. It's a very big shot in off a hanging lie. Very picturesque, very challenging. For the club golfer, you go down the left-hand side. You lay up with your next shot unless you're really sure you're going to get in there. Otherwise, you're going to walk away with a 6 or a 7. You know what? For a club golfer, walk off there with a 5, index 2. He's going to have his 2 points. He should be a happy camper.
On we move to the back 9, where the 12th hole is Westport's signature par 3. It plays 220 yards off an elevated tee.
Big vista of the sea behind, 2 bunkers, left and right pop bunkers. So again, a big shot, needs an accurate hit. Again, I've seen club golfers have to hit drivers there. And myself personally, over the years, 21 years here, I've hit everything from a 7-iron to a driver and more. So a big test of golf. Again, 3 is a great score there. Anything better than that, and you're definitely ahead of the posse.
Next up, Alex plays Westport's feature hole. The par 5 15th requires a carry over the inlet, with the Atlantic coast running along the left-hand side.
Perfect. Okay, so here we are on the fairway. This is where my drive landed. As you can see, it's a shot you could take on in 2 if you were a little bit further up, because we've got an out of bounds all the way up the left, as you can see, and it comes in on the course. The ideal shot for the club golfer, which I'm going to play today too, is to aim your shot at the White House in the distance, touch a draw, try and get the ball up onto the plateau there so I have a nice level shot into the green from around anything from 120 to 100 yards in. Perfect.
From there, Alex has a 125-yard gap wedge into the green. He uses his local knowledge to allow the wind from the Atlantic to shape the ball into the pin.
Little strong, but safely on deck. Okay, ball on the back of the green. 9 yards from the hole, in 3. Very large green, very exposed green. You can see from the breeze. The sea to our right, downhill, slightly right to left here. Let's see what we can do. Be quite quick. So a nice smooth stroke is what's required. Solid par, happy days.
Ireland's Westport Golf Club has 3 distinct sets of 6 holes, with the final 6 being the toughest of the lot. As head pro Alex Melia continues our tour, it's easy to see why.
16, it's not a difficult driving hole, but you can make it difficult if you go too far left, too far right. What you want to do is just knock it up the middle, leave yourself a nice reasonable shot. Very tricky green. Whatever club you decide to use to hit into the green, pick another one and go one more. It's a very high shot, it's a very elevated green, catches a lot of people out. There's 3 tiers on it, very subtle tiers, it's not big lumps. If you're at the back of the green and your pin's on the front, 4 put's not out of the question. So you've got to be really, really conscious of what you're doing. 18, monster, grey hole. One of our better new additions. Recently, in the last few years, we moved the green back and we moved it slightly to the right. It's a monster par 5. Water all down the right-hand side, which is out of bounds. There's a hazard all the way down. You've got to play that one very carefully. Left off the tee, short of the 2 big bunkers in the fairway. Left of the tree, left of the water. Leave yourself a 3 shot in. Do not take this hole on in 2. That green is definitely the ruination of many a card. When you get on the green, take an extra few minutes, take a couple of breaths. If you walk off with 2 putts, happy days.
The combination of a vibrant town and a picturesque golf club attracts visitors to Westport from America, Asia and further afield. But its most famous guest comes from just north of the border.
He came, he saw and he conquered. He played a magnificent round of golf. He was 15 when he started, he was 16 when he finished, and he won the event very comfortably. Took the trophy home, and the rest, as they say, is history, and we're delighted that he started such a fruitful and wonderful career here, and we hope that, you know, he continues his success and we'll ride the crest of that wave.
Westport, I hope, in some small way has added to the way golf is growing, and I think we have here now one of the finest courses in the country, certainly one of the top parkland courses. We have great value, phenomenal value, green fees aren't high, marvellous scenery. It's a wide open, broad, Hawtrey designed it as rugged, wild and open, and he hoped that that openness would be kept, and he thought it was just a magnificent piece of land. And we have Crowpatrick in the background, paradise.
If the golf club is packed full of Irish charm, then so too is Westport town. There's no shortage of cafes, bars and pubs, but perhaps the most popular is found on Bridge Street. It's owned by Matt Malloy himself, a flautist for the world-renowned Chieftains for 33 years.
I suppose I've been travelling around the world for so long, and I've been in so many bars. I got to appreciate the quality of Irish bars, if you like, for sociability and whatever else. This has been a bar since 1896, and this is all most of the original stuff. It's all original. I just continue that on. I have music every night of the week, practically now, and it tends to be an ideal place for whatever reason, for traditional musicians, which is what I am, and for singers and dancers too. We have a lot of really hot players around, and I get my ass kicked fairly regularly here, so it keeps me on an edge as well, you know.
Whether coming as a golfing tourist or to live as a pub-owning musician, there seems to be no more iconic Irish town than Westport.
Well, it said there last week it got the most desirable place to live in Ireland, and but I did a radio interview there last week, and they were asking the same question. I said, well, I could have told you that 23 years ago.